Hi, today we are going to talk about how to get my ebooks to keep. This is part one and involves Patreon. So that's today on this edition of What's Up Wednesday for March 19th, 2025. As I mentioned in my most recent Saturday broadsheet, there is a new perk that comes with being a paid member of my Patreon. So you're a paid patron. Memberships start at $1 for another week or so, couple weeks, because we're only halfway through the month. We're not all the way through. And then in April, they will be starting at $2. So the $1 and the $2 level will be going up to $2 and $3, which I also mentioned in that Saturday broadsheet, which was just this past Saturday that came out. Which you can see here on my homepage. There was the Saturday broadsheet. So when you sign up at Patreon, you get all the newsletter stuff, just like if you were, signed up on Substack, you get all the newsletters. You get all the newsletter and all of that here. So you're not missing out on anything, and you don't have to have, 2 or 3 different sign up lists to be on. You can just be on this one. And I'll make sure that you get everything. There's also a chats spot. I do have a chat that is open there so that you can converse with each other if you want. Nobody's really used it yet, and I'm not very good at using those sorts of things. So I need to learn to improve on that, I guess. All right, then you have here, you see that, I think you can see me circling the collections tab. That's where you'll find all the books that you can read online. They're all there. I think we'll go through there. This is just the home page where you can scroll through and see what's been posted recently. And it all just goes according to the most recent post that was there. There is also an app that you can have on your phone, and this is the home page. Looks the same as what's on the screen there, except I have dark mode here. I don't have dark mode on my computer right now. And the collections tab, which is what we're going to go to. You can find all the books in all the different series and all of that there, so that things are kind of organized a little bit easier to find. Not super easy to find, if you go to one of these. Let's see. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't be hard at all, because you can let's go to Darcy, and this is a 5-book collection. So let's just go to the beginning of Oxford Cottage, which is the first one that comes up. And if there was another book that I wanted to read, the links are there. So let me show you that on this screen here on my computer. So let's go to collections. Let's go to the Darcy and a collection of standalone Pride and Prejudice variations. All right. You can buy this collection of posts for $5, and then you could have access to read them online. You don't own them. They're there as long as they're there. If I decide to take them down, then you lose access to them. But it is another way that you can access things if you want. Let me put this there. Okay, so I've got all the books all listed there. So let's go to the Oxford Cottage again, the first one. And you'll see that there are links here in this dark part. You scroll over and you see the finger pop up, or hopefully it'll show up on your screen. Anyway, when you scroll over it, you'll get that little finger symbol so that you can click it. So we're going to click Through Every Storm, because that's the one we're going to talk about today a little bit. And you can read the whole thing here. This is free to read for anyone, free or paid member on Patreon this month until the end of the month. And again, you can click to other things. And when you get to the bottom, of each section, you'll get part 2. And at the top of part 2, there would be a link to come back to part 1. This one is 10 chapters, and it's posted in 3 parts. So there'll be three different sections of it. But it's not just a free read this month. There's also a link for paid members to download and keep a copy of Through Every Storm. In the Saturday broadsheet, I mentioned that I was going to start doing this in April, but I decided I would start a month early just so I could make sure that I kind of had some of the bugs worked out before I started doing it on the date that I had said I was going to do it on, because I wanted to make sure I had it right. Okay, so it says a copy of Through Every Storm to keep. There is a link that will be in the body of the text, and there's also the link up here. So let's just click on this link. This isn't going to be a very long demonstration. It won't take too long. You get a landing page that says Get My Book, and it has the blurb, tells you about what the book is about there. So we click Get My Book. You'll need to fill in your first name and an email address. This is just to make sure that you're a real person, and it just keeps track of who has gotten the book. It doesn't add you to any email lists or anything like that. It's just kind of a, yeah, this is a real person. So you would click Send My Book once you have those 2 things filled in. And yes, Eileen is my real first name. So there we go. Once you do that, it will email you. And this is the email you'll get. It'll be get your copy of, in this case, Through Every Storm. If it was a different book, the title of that book would be there. So it's very clear in the subject line what you're getting so that you don't miss it. It's not tricking you, making you think one thing when it's actually, this is the book you need to get. So it's very straightforward and direct. Because we don't want you to miss out on getting your book. So there will be a link in that email, and you will click that. I'll click it. And you'll get what looks like the download page that you just started on, but it's different. You'll notice there's no blurb down here telling you about what the book is about. There is a start reading in your browser, which you could click and it would open it up for you in your browser. There's also this button here that you can do, click your book, and then you have some options for what you would like to do. You can send it to your BookFunnel app, which is what I usually do. I don't do this normally on my computer. I normally do this on my phone. Let me just show you here. Okay. If you're on your phone, this is like the home landing screen for the BookFunnel app. And you can either type in the code that they've given you, or if you're getting it, if you're here, so you can type in that code that shows up, the LLTSPPA, or you can click on it and it'll send it there for you. Okay. All right. And then once you do that, it will show up in your library. Over here is my library, a BookFunnel. It keeps all my books there for me. One thing I need to go back to mention on that. And if I click on the title, I've got some options I can read in my browser. I can get the book details. I can download the book, and I can delete it from my library if I'm like, oh man, no, I don't want that book at all. Although I'm sure that's not going to happen with one of my books. You'll want to keep it. Unless you've got so many books that you need to start deleting and you've already downloaded it and you have it elsewhere. So you can download the book. That would be the file for the book, and you can then save that, in whatever storage device that you have. If you can send it to send it to your Kindle. You could sideload it onto any other reader that you have. And then there is this one where you can read in the browser, which looks like this. Let's get to an actual chapter. Okay, so it's a 2-page spread, fairly easy to read from, and you can click in the middle and you can get your list of chapters, or if you want to go to here and change how it's laid out, like you could have it dark. A little too much contrast there for me. That's not bad actually, but anyway, you can increase your line spacing, your page margins, all of that. And if you wanted to have it just one page, you could do one page like that too. Anyway, here's the font. You can change it even to Open Dyslexic if you have dyslexia to help you with that. And then you can go back to your library. The arrow up in the left corner should get you there. You can also listen to audiobooks on here, which is another perk. Anytime I do an audiobook, you get a link to the audiobook, and you can listen to it here. And you can change the speed that you're listening to it. You can look at the chapters, all of that. So let's go back to that is audiobooks. You do not get to download the file and move it around. It's just in the BookFunnel app that you can listen to it, because audiobooks are different, where you upload each chapter as a separate file. It's a little bit different way of doing things, so it's not quite as easy for you to download. All right, so that is it. Pretty easy. And each and every month there will be another book that will be available to download. The one that I have, I think I have it already set up and ready, is Oxford Cottage. That will be the first one. It was the first official one. It is, well, I'm recording this on the 18th, the day before. And I think either the 17th or 18th of March is when I first published my very first book in 2015, 10 years ago. And that book was Oxford Cottage. So we're starting with the very first one. Should have done it this month. That would match, but I didn't have the file ready. Those older books, I don't have them set up in proper file format to put onto BookFunnel yet, so it's taking a little while to get that. The newer books, they're all fine. They're all ready to go. But some of the older ones would take a little bit more work to get them updated. I have their EPUB file, which is the type of file that I have to upload to BookFunnel, but it's the old one that's several years old, and I want to make sure that all the contact information and stuff like that in the back of the book is all updated. And that requires me to put it onto Atticus, which is my formatter, and get a copy of it and all that. So it takes a little bit of time. Anyway, so that's the process. Let's just go through it really quickly. You go to the link. Yeah, click that link, get your copy. That pops up to here with the Get My Book. When you open that, you put in your name and your email, and you just click send. Then you check your inbox for your Get Your Copy Of, whatever the title of the book is. Then you click the link that is in there, and you end up with a Get My Book page. You click the Get My Book page. You decide how you want your book delivered to you, and you click that and follow the instructions. The other thing that you can do here on this Get My Book page, you see down in the right-hand corner, there's email, EPUB, PDF. There's no PDF that's available for this one, but there is an EPUB. So I could click that and I could download the EPUB file. And that's where I can, we saw it in the BookFunnel library. You could keep it from there. You can also keep it from here and put it into whatever storage you want to use the book in. Okay, and then that is it should show up in your BookFunnel library if you've gotten it through the BookFunnel app. I don't know if it does if you get it through the Kindle. If it also goes to the BookFunnel and then to the Kindle, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've done it that way because I usually just go to the book funnel. It's just easiest. All right, that is it. Remember that you can read Through Every Storm if you are a free Patreon member. You can read that this month on Patreon online, whether you're reading on your app on your phone or whether you're reading on your computer. It is there for the month. If you are a paid member, the link to get your copy of Through Every Storm is there until the end of the month. It'll probably may not happen like on the very first day of the next month, but shortly after the first day of the month, this post will probably disappear. So make sure that you've gotten it downloaded before the end of March. And I think that's it for today. So hopefully this time we have success. I recorded this one other time and my camera decided it wasn't going to work halfway through, and I didn't notice it until I was done and I had to restart. Oh, one other thing that I need to remind you of is April 21st is the last day that Willow Hall, that series, will be in Kindle Unlimited. After that time, I will start getting the Willow Hall books, one per week, set up on Patreon, and they'll show up in the collection section tab, whatever. Give me a second. Okay. So, right. Yeah, there we go. The collections tab. There will be another one that will be added here that will be the Willow Hall series. So they'll probably end up being in this spot because they'll probably move down. And then maybe there may be another set of books coming out of Kindle Unlimited in May. I'm not sure if I'm going to take them out in May or let them stay in for another 3 months. I haven't decided that for sure yet, but I want to get them all out so that I can have them all on the Patreon so that when you're a patron, you have access to all my books. And then audiobook download links are here. Whichever ebook is the book of the month will be under this collection tab. So they're at the top so that you can get those easily if you are a paid Patreon member. And membership starts at $1 until the end of this month. And starting next month, it will go up to $2 as the lowest level that you can be. If you're already signed up at the $1, as long as your membership doesn't get interrupted for any reason, whether it's on purpose or by accident, it'll stay at $1. But if for some reason, whatever that reason is, it gets interrupted, when you re-sign up, it would be at the $2 level. Just so you know, there's nothing I can do about it once something gets interrupted, whether it's, credit card company being ridiculous or whatever. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. You would have to sign up at the $2 level. Okay, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you next month with another demonstration of how you can get my books to keep, and that'll be using Smashwords. And for those who read not just my Leanie books, but also my Annalee Nelson books, this is true for Annalee and for Leanie. I have an Annalee Patreon page, and her books are also on Smashwords, so that'll be something that we can talk about then too. So until next time, happy reading.